Senior Foreign Policy Advisor for the Committee of Responsible Foreign Policy, TV correspondent, CW6 News San Diego, as well as One America News Network, and she's back in Washington, D.C., but her website remains the same, thekdreport.com, and she's streaming live right now as we talk, periscope.com and Facebook. And Kimberly, hello, how are you?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
All righty. Interesting things, a lot of stuff going on. Boy, I'm telling you, immigration, it's like, is there everything from A to Z? That might be a good column, by the way. There's got to be something that's not included from A to Z when it comes to immigration, but I'm beginning to wonder, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, it seems like every week we end the broadcast going, oh, hopefully we won't have to return to this subject. Unfortunately, every week we return to the subject because there are new things happening every day.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to talk about a few things. First off, California, I was just talking about, the survey taken where Trump is way ahead of California legislature members because of what they're doing. But here they go again. It's not, let's become an amnesty city. Let's become an amnesty sanctuary state. Let's just, listen. Now they're coming out where they're going to offer free health care. And this will be for ages 10 through 25, right? And the cost is unbelievable.
Yeah, zero. It's not going to cost anything. I mean, it's not going to cost the illegal aliens anything. It's going to cost taxpayers $98 million a year. It looks over I'm here about $450 million for 3 years.
All right, now let me ask you something real quick, because the report I had was $98 billion is what it's going to cost.
No, it's million.
Million. Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
No. Yeah, and yeah, I was just going to, kind of put this, out there. For Americans and legal immigrants, when they go to the hospitals, when they get in an ambulance, they're all asked to pay. And I know this because my son recently was in a pretty bad sporting accident where he had to get in an ambulance, go to the hospital, and the ambulance company sent him a bill for $1,400, non-negotiable, $1,400. He has insurance. $1,400 is what he has to pay just for the ambulance. These people are crossing the border, are paying nothing. And this is why Americans are frustrated with this, because again, they are stuck holding the bill for all of this. And hopefully they wake up, because my son did not think that he was going to have to pay any money. In fact, I think he was on the Bernie Sanders train where he thought that everything was free. Well, I said, every month you write your payment plan, your payment to this ambulance company, you can thank in your heart that I am such a great person. I'm helping all those migrants out. And of course, he's not going to be happy writing $100 a month. He doesn't make a whole bunch of money. But that's what's happening. And if you don't pay that, they come after you. Your credit goes down, your credit score, you can go bankrupt. That all happens to American citizens and legal immigrants.
In some time that I was spending in the hospital, I was talking to different people, and they were talking about how illegal aliens have learned how to game the system, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you don't want to wait, in the emergency line, you call an ambulance.
Yeah.
And no matter what, that's your free taxi to get in and ahead of the line.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you look at it in a bigger picture, I mean, these young people who think that there's, something, noble about socialism, this is socialism. You're paying for others to get things for free. That's where we're headed. And until it hits them, which I allowed this with my son, 19, I said, you know what, I'm going to let you, because a lot of your friends are very liberal and all that stuff, I'm going to let you make payments on this, and then you can complain to your friends what socialism is and why it's not working for you, because that's the only way these kids will learn.
CRN, Chuck Wilder with Kimberly Dvorak, Dvorak, streaming live at Facebook, YouTube. You'll be on YouTube a little later. Periscope.com. real hair, beautiful hair. I don't know how, my hair was that curly, well, it's another story there, Kimberly.
No, I have to make it curly. It's straight.
Yeah, they're not going to learn this stuff in school, that's definitely, unless they're going to, a Christian school or a chartered school, probably. There is a big story breaking, and I don't know if you have looked into it or not, but all of a sudden, the Transportation Security Administration is now allowing illegal aliens to fly on commercial airlines without proper identification. They go ahead of the line of any Americans or whoever is getting ready to get on, and apparently all they need is Form 186, Notice to Appear, which informs them about their immigration court date.
Yeah.
And they're saying they don't have body scans, and I don't know if the report got out of control, and yeah, they do get body scans and all this stuff, but apparently they're saying no, because they got to get them back here so they don't miss their court date, that 90% of them skip anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not certain about, everybody has to go through security. I just went through it to get back to DC, and I go TSA pre, and you still have to go through security. They give you a few other liberties. I encourage people to sign up for that, actually. It's a really good deal, saves you money. But I do know that they're allowing them to get on planes without IDs. I also know that we reported last week that there are known terrorists that are crossing the border now. ISIS members and other terrorists are taking advantage of our southern border in crossing illegally, giving big money to cartels to help them cross the border illegally. Why are they coming to this country? Apparently now they're going to be able to jump on a plane as well. But they're most likely coming to the country, and they're getting involved with all the sleeper cells that are sitting in this country right now, because our border is wide open for business. Come on over. In San Diego, I put some pictures out on my website of how they're using, they're getting around the security that is existing. There's razor top wire all the top. Well, they're just using rope to pull it back so they can climb over and get into this country. It's ridiculous to think that we do not have protection on our southern border. And then where these pictures were taken as well, just east of San Diego, so probably about 20 to 25 minutes inland from San Diego proper, or the coast. Unbelievable that this is what we have going on in this country, knowing that we have terrorists using this as a way to get in.
Have the Border Patrol in San Diego, because I know you filed a report alluding to the fact that maybe they've pulled back a little bit?
Yeah, well, they have pulled back. They've been ordered. At this point, there are so many people that the migrants have done their job by just mass numbers crossing the border. So they've had to be pulled off the fence, which, I don't know that everybody understands this, but along most of the U.S. border, there's a dirt road that's, almost like a paved road. It's dusty a little bit, but that goes along the border all the way across California, all the way into Arizona, through the short part in New Mexico, and all the way through in Texas. There's a road there. They have been pulled back off of that road because they have got to go in and help the CBP and other agents care for children and make sure that these, the kids are getting fed, and make sure that, the fingerprints are coming out correctly, and trying to get these people in overcrowded detention facilities. And of course, in San Diego, they're staying in hotels. So, and getting free pizza. And I've got video of, delivering of free pizza to these locations. This isn't something that kids that live in South Central Los Angeles, or kids that live in New York Bronx, or any, tough neighborhood, is Pizza Hut delivering free pizzas to them so they can eat? And are we taking care of them by giving them cash, money, making sure they have clothes and all of it? Are they doing that for our kids? I don't think they're doing that for our kids here in this country. So, it's just, what we're doing is absolute lunacy. And we have such an right now, if you were to ask anybody, you would say the border is more unsecure than ever.
Well, and I'll tell you something, you talk about that road, they have some disturbing videos where it shows how the illegals on the other side of the fence throw these big boulders onto the Border Patrol trucks. You know, and I think one or two have been killed, I guess, in the last 20 years.
Well, there's been people that have certainly been injured multiple times in the last 2 years.
You know, and it's against the law, you know, to actually support, you know, illegal aliens. There's all kinds of, you know, Section 8 USA 1324. This is any citizen knowingly assists an illegal alien, provides them with employment, food, water, or shelter, has committed a felony. Now, we know about, you know, putting water on the border and all that. People say, oh, that's got to be done. In your report, you have where 3 illegal border crossers were given food, water, until the Border Patrol arrived on the scene. Now, that's a little different, isn't it?
Well, they actually knew that Border Patrol would, you know, come out once they made the call. So they preferred that, you know, that these people stay with them so they could get picked up by Border Patrol and not just go in and get lost in the country and then we have no idea where they are. You know, people, I mean, we're humans. We're kind to other humans. That's just the way in our nature and what we're going to do. I would do the same thing. You know, you would never want to deprive anyone, you know, food and water that are crossing the border illegally. I would just like to say at the end of that, most Americans would like to say, okay, and we're putting you over here, here's the bus station, and we're sending you back down to Mexico, or here's the plane, we're not flying you to San Diego, we're going to fly you back to your home country. That's what I think most Americans would like to see. But the politicians are such cowards, that they do not care. We're on track to admit this year more illegal aliens into this country over our lawful entry. We bring in 1.5 million legal immigrants every year. We're on track to surpass that with illegal immigration. And those who do the right way, they stand in line, they get medical tests, they get background checks, they pay money, they pay fees, and they agree not to collect any money from the government in any kind of federal benefits. So you tell me how those people are feeling that they went through that whole process. And all you really had to do was just fly down to Mexico and cross the border. You're getting free healthcare, you're getting free food, you're getting money because you don't have an ID and you need to get a place to stay. And oh, by the way, California has a housing crisis. There are hundreds of thousands of people living on the streets in LA and San Francisco and San Diego. I witnessed it in San Diego firsthand, tent cities. They have no place to live. So what are we doing here? Why are we continuing to do this? And why are our politicians continuing to fail the American people?
Yeah, it's politicians, you know, actually on both sides.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, the Democrats just don't want to talk about it because they hate Trump.
Yep.
Maxine Waters, you know, she was all predicting now, boy, this tariff thing's going to fall apart and you just wait and see and blah, blah, blah. And Trump's going to have to back down. And guess what? Maxine, you were wrong.
Yeah.
Were a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, I was a little disappointed with Mitch McConnell last week over his statement because you never go into negotiations saying, well, we're really not, we don't mean that all that much. It just shows what a poor leader he is. And, you know, again, I just think we have to, these people do not understand. You know, if you don't live near the border, you know, most people just don't understand. They don't get it. In D.C. here, they're like, oh, what's the big deal? It's just a few thousand people. It doesn't make any difference. Well, you know what those people are doing? When they get in this country, they're also getting work visas. So now they're going to take jobs away from Americans and legal immigrants because we all know they'll work for cheaper than anybody else. And whether, you know, they are needed to do this work or not, they must come here lawfully. The best immigrants and the best Americans, I still say this to this day, every time I get in a cab, and he's from Ethiopia, he's from Somalia, he's from Bangladesh, wherever they may be from, they know what's going on. They know what the schools aren't teaching our kids with civics. And I tell them after they're explaining their stories and how they waited and they were so excited to be in this country, they are the best American citizens we have in this country because they care. They know where they came from and they did it the right way. And they're just as furious as a lot of us, about the stream of more than 100,000 people crossing the border every month now. How sustainable is that? How long can we do that? And I'm sorry I'm being passionate about it, but it's just ridiculous what we're doing here.
Well, and it's ridiculous that the first thing we talk about is how Americans have to take a back seat. When here in California seems to be the most defensive state there is. But here it is, free health care for 10-year to 25-year-old illegal aliens, and it'll only cost us like $98 million. I guess they could raise the gas tax again this time, or put some tax on every inch of your property, and then the schools.
Let me just one point before we go to the schools. The way they're going to pay for this, Gavin Newsom said, the way we're going to pay for this is we're going to tax the people who are in this state lawfully. We're going to tax them more so we can pay for them. Not joking. They're going to raise taxes so we can fund illegal aliens in the state of California to give them free health care. I mean, if that doesn't offend half Americans, I have no idea what would offend them.
Yeah, so Newsom, he doesn't even hide the fact.
No, he wants more votes, that's all.
Wow.
Yeah,
Let me ask you real quick, now you don't speak French, right?
Darn it, I wish I did. I got some stuff to translate.
Yeah, so they're talking about 350 illegals from the Congo.
Yeah.
And so now they're looking for, let me see, was the word they used volunteers, feeling for French speaking? Yeah, volunteers. See, Texas, they don't want to pay for it. Could you imagine if they were in California? Well, we got the volunteer fact now.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I'm going to get out our Springfield rifles?
Yeah.
No. New kind, yeah.
Well, that's the ludicrousness of this. And then also with Gavin Newsom, he said today that, you know what, he was talking about the people that cross the border that are coming to the state of California because the California is a sanctuary state, that, they're treating them just like anybody else. So without saying, yes, we're going to directly say that you come to this country illegally, we're going to consider you a citizen. But that's what he said today. He said that you're voters. We consider you a citizen of our state. So we're going to give you access to health care. We're going to give you access to the schooling, the free schooling that we offer our public schools. California has fallen off the map as far. We used to be the envy of the world for education. Top primary schools all the way through high school. Now, the only country that's below us is Mississippi. We're almost last. We're the bottom of the list because we're not teaching our kids because we have so many of them that don't even speak English.
Well, I'll tell you, at one time, I know we were the third highest when it came to rating education, public education. And the funny thing is, and liberals, you can fight this all you want to, but it's a fact, and I've checked it many, many times now, just recently. When you want to look at all of the big cities that have just gone to hell, they're all being run by Democrats.
Yep.
It is a fact. Why in the world they're hell-bent on destroying the United States of America? And then, you had a thing, I think that you put it on your Facebook earlier, about 1 million people in California may be losing their homes under this Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Yeah.
Seeking to evict undocumented family members. Now, that would be aliens from housing, right?
Yeah. Now, or it could be the aliens from the ships. I don't know. It's real now. Apparently, it's real. So, no, this is something that Ben Carson put together. I think it's actually a brilliant idea. I think that this is an innovative way to alleviate some of the housing crisis that California is facing right now. And it's in California, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and I believe New York was the other city where there's more than, in California at least, there's more than 100,000 people that are getting, help on their housing, and that the U.S. government and taxpayers are actually paying for that. They're illegally into the country.
Number 3 is Texas.
Yeah, Texas. Okay, yeah, bigger state. But it's just, the thing there is that, we have trouble with the low income people in general getting housing. So why are we not allowing them to go do these go into HUD, get the benefits of cheaper housing so they can make their way through life and move up the ladder? Right now it's like it's a free for all, and Ben Carson found a way. He's the Secretary for Housing. And and it's brilliant. I mean, the loophole that he found, or they were trying to exploit. He found a way to say, look, you must be in the country legally. It can't be you can't just have your child living in the house that makes you legal.
Take some of the veterans off the streets. Right?
Exactly.
We're going to take our final break. We'll continue more from Kimberly Dvorak, Senior Foreign Policy Advisor for the Committee for Responsible Foreign Policy, and her website, thekdreport.com, streaming live, Facebook, and Periscope.com. Be right back. So many things need to be done, and people are trying to get them done. I would put my top three, funding for the wall, implementation of the E-Verify, and the other one I really like, and I love it when they do it, is when they're requiring these DNA tests from the adults and children that are claiming kinship. Yeah. I mean, that helps us, and it also goes against, the sex traffickers and the people that are using those children.
Yeah.
Terrible. When you enter children into the formula, that's when I get upset.
Yeah, and this is something that the Democrats, it's a topic that's near and dear to their heart. They wanted to stop the trafficking of minors across borders, throughout the country, whether it's from California, trafficking them to New York. They're usually used as sex slaves and things of that nature. You talk to them, they're like, that's their baby. But apparently that only extends to what's going on here. I guess they don't really care about most of them getting trafficked into this country, who suffer, by the way, far, far worse crimes on children, as far as like pedophilia, because they don't have any documents. I did a series some years ago where I went down to a safe house in Tijuana, met with some of these girls, the life and what was done to them before they were sold and crossed into the U.S. and bought by people in this country. It's horrific. It's an absolutely horrific thing. No child should ever have to go for this. But all Democrats right now are saying is that, that's like pretty bad. We're going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you're not a pedophile just trying to bring this kid into the country. And it just they don't see the reason why we should be funding DNA tests to ensure these people they say who they are. And to me, it's, as a parent, like you said, if anything ever happened to your child or anything ever happens to any young people in this country, young children in this country, it all makes us stop and pause, because our children are precious, life is precious. And unfortunately, in this situation, transnational crime organizations have figured out another loophole to get into this country. And sadly, we don't even know how many have made it past, because now we're just now starting to do the DNA. But one has to question, where are those kids that were let go with these people, 2, 3, 4 months ago? What's happened to them? And, and the answer is, I don't think we'll ever know. So, this is a terribly sad thing.
You turn on that strong magnet, okay? Free health care for 10 to 25-year-old illegal aliens. California, come on in, right? And we hear these reports where the mother gives her, I think the kid was 5th grader age or something like that, got her on birth control pills because it's a done deal. They automatically know if you're female and halfway young or whatever, I don't even know what the age is.
Yeah,
you're going to be raped coming into America. Turn off the magnet.
Yeah. And that's what's got to be done. And it's very sad. Again, we have Child Protective Services, and if you did this in America, put your child out in danger in the desert or whatnot, that child would be removed from your care, and taken care of by the state and most likely gone to foster care. Why is it okay for these people from other countries to do this and then they're okay and we're just going to let them go and they can go into the court system, but they never show up for court? So, I mean, I think if you care about anything, care about those kids and care about why they get a pass on this horrific law that they're violating.
Okay, Kimberly, thank you very much. Excellent report. Kimberly
Thank you.
Dvorak, Dvorak, and it's CKD Report. Also, CW6 News San Diego, One America News Network. And looking forward to the next report from Kimberly Dvorak. We'll
Great.
be right back.
Thank you.